Good morning, people of YouTube. It is a beautiful day here in New Jersey, and I just happen to have taken the day off. So today we are going to work on that front bumper because we got some stuff. I got some parts. Oh wait, that's an exhaust for that. Oh, we've got some parts, Smittybuilt and rough country, and just maybe we'll get a winch on it today. So first things first, I did it without you watching. 3/4 inch on these guys. Somebody's already replaced these with, usually you'll have Torx, but this has already been replaced with some regular bolts, which I'm excited about. So I already brr, 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 brr. And then we got, let's see, nothing under there, and nothing under there. I wonder. Very nice. All right, before we do anything with that, let's get this guy open and see what we got from good old Smittybuilt. Hardware inside, do not discard. And there we go. All right, let's pop this out and see what it looks like. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. No, I'm kidding. We still have we have a lot of work to do, but kind of just laid that up in there to see how it's going to look. I'm not upset about that. The ends are a little scuffed up, and that's certainly not for me. Take this bar off. We have a winch plate to mount on it. We've got these lights disconnected and reconnected to our winch plate. And everybody asks about these. These I'll link in the description. They're just pods that happen to be just about the right size to bolt in, and they have a bar in the center for amber lights, so they're connected to the turn signals. And the fog lights themselves are connected to my high beams. So when the high beams come on, those come on. It's probably terrible for oncoming people, but hey, it is what it is. So unfortunately, I can't do things two-handed. I need to use one for the phone here because we're doing this dirty with the phone today. But use the grinder, put the old cheek poker 9000, and we whizzed that all up. Got inside there. Now, a lot of these Jeeps, couple of notables, they get messed up in here, and the steering box is loose. This all rusts out. This one's actually pretty good. It's a 95, and it doesn't look like there's been a lot of work done on this front horn, so I'm not really thinking that this just ever rusted out. This survived. But while you're at this phase, it's a good time to do two things. One, use a rust reformer. Take this, spray this on, turn this all into primer, and then you can hit it with another primer to paint, or you can just hit it with paint if you're lazy like me. We're going to spray this on, let it do its thing, let it eat. Head over to my least favorite place, AutoZone, because we've got to grab a spool of wire. But another thing to do while you have this all apart, a very important thing, is this right here. This is your steering box adjustment screw. And this stuff works fast. I mean, look at that. It's already looking much better. I'll pick myself up this stuff. It was on the clearance rack, roll bar and chassis paint. I figured that's chassis. So we hit it with the primer. Let's hit it with this stuff and see what happens. Another thing is, while you're doing this, don't be afraid to get in there with the good old thread chaser, because I cleaned this one out and she looks a lot better, but this one's gonna be fun. And since you don't have really any room to get in there with the T-bar, you got to get it started. Let's switch to old vice grips here, and it's sketchy. Obviously, the top bolts will use the T-bar on. So uncoordinated. And for this guy, you just got to get it in there. And again, we're not trying to destroy the threads. We're just moving through, clean it up. Use a little WD-40 if you have to. For these, they're going pretty smooth, but if it gets a little bound up, I might spray it. I'm going to run through all these bolts real quick, clean them all out, and get them nice and ready. But like I said, for this, you'll use the T-bar for the top, but for this one, because shackle's in the way, we got to use. Now, I'm assuming that if you didn't have a boomerang shackle, maybe you could have a little more room. I know some people put a socket on the end of that. I don't know. Also, earlier I was talking, and I get a little more into it. Well, we're going to pause on this for a second. So we had the front end done. Ball joints, upper, lower, had the tire end, Everything was greased. Axle seals replaced, wheel joints done, and yes, I did send it out because even I have to farm out work. I can't. It was like 30 degrees last week. I can't deal with that now. Beautiful. But anyway, so as I was talking earlier, this adjustment, so when the front end was done, he realigned it, and I think what ends up happening is he put this back into the dead center of this steering box where it has the most wear, and we started to have really floaty steering. And I know that all my bushings are in, okay shape. I mean, yeah, they're a little older. In fact, these Warrior Shackle bushings look like crap, and they haven't been on here that long. Anyway, so I know that there's a little bit of axle shift left and right. There's gonna be, hell, the sway bar links are shot. Everything's a little loose. And the only way to take the slop out of that, to make this thing run straight and true again, there's an Allen in top and then a lock nut in the bottom. Don't they know I'm trying to record a video here? Come on. So anyway, there's this Allen key on top and then this lock on the bottom. 5/8, and I don't remember what size this is. But most importantly, this takes up some of the slop in your steering because it creates more drag on the gear. Now, do not think that this is going to fix your steering problems. This is going to alleviate some of your drag on your steering so that it doesn't wander. But that does not replace bad ball joints. That does not replace bad steering components. That does not replace anything that's bad in your steering. This is a last-ditch effort to try to get it to be tighter if you have a large dead spot in your box. This box is actually relatively newer. Still got labels and stuff on it. So I don't know what kind of hard life this thing has had before I owned it. Which, by the way, it's the 3-year anniversary of me having this today, March 18th. Beautiful. Anyway, so you can take out, and I'm going to tell you, this is very important. You go less than a 16th of a turn. Like, you loosen this up, and I mean, you go, eek, and that's it. It's a huge adjustment for a little bit of movement. That's my little tip. So, I think I've dawdled enough. Time to continue cleaning out all these threads, and let's start mounting up. Oh, yeah. We got our winch mount played out, and it came with new hardware, so we're in good shape. Now here comes the fun part. So we're going to put the bumper on, and then we're going to put the winch plate on. But first we got to put the bumper on, and then we got to add some washers, and then we got to add the winch plate, and then we got to bolt it all together. Let's put you down. Let me hang this bumper on the front of this, and let's get started. All right, very important part. Pay attention. So I just stuck one bolt in real quick to kind of hold it all together, but these are important. These come with your Smittybuilt, and they take up a good amount of space here and here. That's all. Put those in. That way everything's level. When you start to mount down this plate, you don't have any gaps. So we're gonna line these bolts up and then hit them with the impactor. Impactor! And my advice would be to start with your bottom bolts. Obviously, we only got 4 bolts because this is really just for the winch plate. And I was supposed to reuse the old bolts from Smittybuilt, but I only had to reuse 2, the bottom ones. And then we got our nice new bolts on the top plate. So 3/4 wrench, get them nice and tight, and then the rest, I'm gonna hammer them down, drive it home. Now, how many of you spotted that I used the wrong washers and didn't say anything? See, unfortunately, on the TJ, the sway bar runs along the top here of the frame, so you have to use these washers to take up the space, and I thought they were nice washers, so I used them on these back bolts, but gotta use these. Second verse, same as the first. Hammered home and ready for a winch. Now, in New Jersey, we require front plates, so we'll figure that out. We'll probably just get one of the ones that click into your front winch mount. I don't know if I'm gonna be bothered with it. I definitely don't want to drill that bumper to mount a plate, but we'll have to figure that one out. Let's lay that winch in and see how it looks. And now that's all mounted nice. Again, I'm missing some parts, but you know what? I just mounted it loose so it don't fly off and kill anybody. It's not ready for service, but I got to go to Home Depot, get some hardware, mount that thing secure. And I know that the pieces I need are somewhere in there, or they're with a guy. Now, anyway, you see the headlights. So interestingly enough, I've had these for about a year. I purchased them off Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below, and they are fantastic to begin with. And I don't know why. I love that. I love that glow. But more importantly, we were talking earlier about the turn signals being in here. Now I'll show you guys. As you see, turn signals work down in the bottom, and that's just fine. However, what I've learned is that these also have, take a look at this. So, ready? Test lead, power. Ooh, we go orange. We go orange. So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take that lead that powers those. It disconnected itself. We're gonna take the lead that powers those. We're gonna run it to our second lead on here. That way, when we turn on those turn signals, we're gonna get both going. We're gonna have those turning and those turning, and oh, it's gonna look so cool. And a little connector magic later, and whee! Look at that. Now we are definitely turning with style. So now all we gotta do is button up the other side, and oh yeah, that is so cool. That is the coolest. So in today's video, what did we do? We upgraded our lighting, we upgraded our bumper, we even put on a winch. We did some stuff with the Commander, but I probably didn't film that. That's Hemi Commander. Nothing but trouble. Anyway, back to this. This is almost done for today. Steering's adjusted. Got a couple of little things. I might actually wash it. And school bus. Anyway, I'm gonna get done with this. I'm gonna button this all up, and then I'm gonna come back and wrap this video up. And there we go. Everything's buttoned up just fine. We put our Smittybuilt bumper on. We got our, look at that. I got the hazards on. That's so cool. We did some really cool things in the Jeep today. And at the beginning of the other video, I was saying at the corner of my garage, look at that, all fixed, nice and new. So, getting some stuff done. Weather finally shifted on us, so we're definitely excited. And if you enjoyed that video, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. It's you know, meat and potatoes of being a shade tree mechanic in back in New Jersey. Anyway, thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.